All right, guys, we've made it to the final lesson, and what I think the most exciting part is adding embellishments. I have decided to use some of these pockets and little window cards here to embellish the front of each folder. Now, I always say embellishment, it's always very personal. Some people like a lot, some people don't like any at all. I actually found that the folder fronts were quite fine without anything. But I then lined these cards up and I thought they were really lovely. So I figured I should add about two per folder, and I did have enough in my stash to do that. So that's the plan going forward. Adding two of the window cards plus some of the acetate from this collection, which is a beautiful kind of sailboat acetate, and then adding some ephemera on top of it. So I'm just cutting these down to size, and I'm just gonna round this corner off so it matches the pocket, and then I am going to lay them out on my album folder. So I love how that looks. It just adds, some interest there. I have a few embellishments that I'd like to use, and I'm just gonna use some of my tape runner again to adhere this to the front of the folder. I like that the edge of the flap kind of frames me in this photo. I just love how everything has come together, and I'm really pleased with how it's all coming out. So once I have these stuck down, I go through just all the bits of ephemera and I pick out which ones I'd like to use. I have this nice gold seashell, which I think is really pretty. And I also have the gold word sail away, which is nice, and these little blue circle, which I'm about to add here. And these all, just create some pop, some interest as well. And it's a great way to use up your stash. So once I've added it in, I like this little rope here. I like the sail away. I mean, I just love it all. What's not to like? Um, and I'm just, you know, laying them out, seeing how they look, and then adding them all in. So this is quite fun, and then I will go through the photos and the inside of the folder and see what I'd like to add and where, if anything at all. So I added quite a bit on my photos, and I enjoyed doing that. I have a couple interactive bits as well, which I share with you throughout this video. And I am just adding in some glitter dots here. These are probably some of the most versatile embellishments. Like you could just add them anyway, and they just kind of lift the page a bit. They are glitter and a bit transparent, so very fun. And I just kind of like laying out about three of them on the layout to kind of, add some little pops. And I add this rope in as well on this side because I just like how the rope looks. And so this is the front cover of it all. I like it, I really do. And so now I'm going inside and I'm gonna add some bits on the inside. I feel like adding something to this photo is a bit much, even though now that I look at this, it's not too bad, adds a bit of extra dimension and color. But at the point, I just didn't. So I'm just going in now and showing you how I added these bits for the second day two. I'm adding in some of the embellishments there already, and I want to do a bit of an interactive piece here. I decided I could put this as a pull-out card, but it has to go through the photo as well as the front of the page protector. So I'm making sure that all lines up. And what I should have done for this part is put two or three bits of paper behind the photo so that it doesn't go through the back of the page protector. But at the time I didn't. So I actually took another page protector and I did that over with the pages below to just pad the space between the photo and the back of the page protector, and it worked out perfectly. It didn't cut through. So just a tip if you're trying this element through page protector, because it could be a bit shifty, and because of the way that this photo in the back lined up, it ended up looking like there was a line through my upper body there. So that was a bit weird for me. Some people don't care again, but I do. So I just thought I'd do that over, and so um, I did eventually do that because I just couldn't leave it like that. But I do love how this piece came out, and it's just an easy way to add an interactive bit and to add extra journaling. And I go through now, and I'm just adding a little title. My son likes to say he wants to go see horses or he wants to go horse riding. And so I looked at the space and the size of these letters, and I said I could put go see horses. So every morning when we were there, we did go see horses, and sometimes in the afternoon. And so it was really nice, being at a resort that had horse stables. It was really unexpected, but it was just a really happy occurrence, a serendipitous moment because my son loves, loves, loves horses so much. So much. And so that, as a result, and then especially with toddlers, because he couldn't go to kids club and he was too young for quite a number of the activities, but this was something that we could easily do that interest him for a while. We go for a walk, we look at the horses, chat with the horse keepers, it was just really nice. So this was probably one of the highlights of our trip and one of the things that we did every day. Um, and then I just add those in and I just did some tuning and I add another label to the back as well. And of course, a glitter dot. So once that's all done, I've toyed with adding some other things. I mean, the possibilities are endless here, guys, with embellishments. Um, for this project, I do um I do believe I like how the photos came out and the quality of the photos, and I wanted those to shine through. So I didn't over embellish. But it's always so tricky trying to figure out, how much is too much, too little, that kind of thing. So I just love the fact that the folders were creative and that they all came out well, and I was able to do quite a bit of extra things as well. I'm just punching these holes into the each folder. I initially punched this part and then added slits, which is something that you can do. But because the acid was a little bit, it's like probably a 1/8 of an inch longer than the paper, which I did notice at the time, it didn't quite line up. So I would recommend cutting it, just lining off and cutting down the edges, make sure they line up before punching. But in the end, what I decided to do was, I guess, a bit easier. I just cut about a half inch off of the edge of the acetate, and this way it could open up without even having the holes and the slits, which makes it a bit more mobile in terms of being able to open and flip through the album a bit easier. So this is when I noticed it was a little bit too long. So I decided to go in and just cut the edge off, and that makes it easy to just flip through like this. These are, the photos are here, the journaling, and this is like that. So I go in and I do that for all, and here's a flip through of the completed album. So this is day one. I really love everything. I just really love it. I'm really, really happy with how this album came together. I've added some things on the photos where, above or down below, some extra journaling. Not too much, just enough. And then I move on to the back. I could have added some stamping or photo on the left hand side. And this time I could go back in and do after. And then, just, have that interactive bit here and some more as well on the other side. And I really, I really, really am pleased. So these I use Sun Chaser instead of set sail for this particular one, which was nice. And then I have day 4 here with when we went horse riding and just adding in those bits and pieces of us by the poolside. So this, I really, really love it. I think it tells a story. It shares how we do it. This was the day that we had the most photos. We went to the mud pool, and then we had some like, really nice meals. It was just a wonderful day and a wonderful trip. So that's it, guys. Thanks so much for being here with me for this class. I hope you've enjoyed it all, and I can't wait to see what you create for your travel memories. Until next time, bye.